At least 500 members of the community logged on for the virtual webinar by federal investigators as they laid out not only the scope of their investigation, but also answered a number of questions about what could happen at the end of this probe.
Pattern and practice means that we will be investigating the city and LMPD on a systemic level. These kinds of investigations are civil, not criminal in nature.
A team of federal officials laying the groundwork of their investigation as they take aim at LMPD's policy and practices of use of force, obtaining and executing search warrants, as well as stops and seizures.
We're going to be looking at whether racial discrimination is occurring. That discrimination may be taking place through stops of vehicles or stops on the street or other ways that officers are engaging with people.
Investigators are reaching far and wide for interviews. From residents to members of law enforcement, they want anyone with relevant information to come forward, and they can do so anonymously.
It is a top priority for us to keep the information that we learn confidential so that people feel comfortable telling us their stories and, as I mentioned, their candid opinions without the fear of retaliation.
As dozens of questions poured in, several people asked, what will this investigation even change to what will happen at the end of their probe? But a big question was, how long will this last and what happens if they find violations?
That if we find evidence of violations during our investigation, we're not going to wait until the end to inform LMPD, and we'll give information in real time so that they can address issues.
As far as how long this investigation will last, federal officials were hesitant to provide a timeline as this probe is just beginning. However, in similar investigations of larger police departments in Baltimore and Chicago, those took about a year. At the end, if LMPD and investigators don't come to an agreement to remedy any bad policy or practices, it could result in a federal court order.
When you have a federal court order and somebody's violating it, you have the power of the federal judiciary standing behind it. And people can be held in contempt if they fail to comply with court orders. And that's a big deal. And so it's an effective tool for holding people accountable to making real change.
Stefan Dingle, WLKY News.